All right. Terrific. Well, I want to welcome everyone to the STEM Leadership Alliance, our webinar series that we're hosting. First of all, I want to wish everyone a very happy holidays. I know it can be quite hectic and frantic at this time of year, but we really appreciate you taking time to join us today for this very important webinar. With us today, we have Kelly Dooley. She's from ITEEA, the International Technology and Engineering Educators Association. And she came on as the executive director, Kelly, I think it was back in 2021.
August 2021, yep. So
yeah,
like a year and 4-ish months.
Wow, and she's just been an amazing addition to ITEEA. She has such energy and passion, and the organization just overall just has so many wonderful resources and experiences, and not just for educators, but just for the community at large. So whether you're attending today via business, as a teacher, administrator, whatever role that you hold, there's one thing we all have in common, is that we have a passion for students to be learning STEM, to being engaged, and to really going on to that next level. So I don't want to take all of the time to talk about all of the wonderful things that I think about ITEEA and Kelly. I really want to turn it over to her. So without further ado, Kelly, take it away, and I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my video and let you start to share your resources.
Thank you. All right, welcome everyone. I'm going to do a quick screen share here. Bear with me just a sec. All right, make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Okay, well, thank you, Kelly, for that kind introduction. It's been so great to work with Kelly and her team and the rest of the STEM Leadership Alliance since I joined ITEEA. And I'm really excited to be here with you today because, as Kelly said, in the last 16 months or so, ITEEA has been hard at work, and there's a lot happening in the organization and a lot of opportunities for educators and others invested in our vision and mission to learn more and get involved with ITEEA. So my presentation today is really going to be on the renewed focus we've taken in this last 16 months to really engage and equip STEM educators. For those of you who might not be quite as familiar with ITEEA, I do see some familiar names in the attendee list. But for our newbies, we are a professional association that serves the technology and engineering education community, and that includes STEM educators looking to more effectively bring technology and engineering into the classroom. Here you can see our vision around promoting technology and engineering education and leading integrative STEM, and then our mission to advance technological and engineering literacy for all, by really supporting those engaged in these pursuits. There are just a few core beliefs that I want to highlight that shape ITEEA, who we serve, and what we do. So first is that ITEEA strongly believes STEM is a unitary force, and to be addressed effectively, we have to teach each of the disciplines individually, but also as connected subject areas. So this aligns with the first of the 3 principles that drive STEM education, which are described in STEM to the 4th power, the power of collaboration for change. And you can see there, principle 1, STEM education should advance the learning of each individual discipline, but also principle 2, that STEM education should provide logical and authentic connections between them. There we go. So linking technology and engineering with mathematics and science and the other core disciplines is really going to result in a person who is better able to adapt and adjust to rapid technological changes in their lives. But we also know that technology and engineering are traditionally underrepresented when compared to math and science in this kind of STEM disciplinary quartet. And so to that end, ITEEA published the standards for technological and engineering literacy, which are intended to aid all educators, whether they are teaching technology and engineering specifically, or whether they're looking to integrate technology and engineering into other disciplines. And I'm going to talk about STEL later in this presentation when I talk about our initiatives related to standards, but I really wanted to highlight that as a core belief because we do recognize the underrepresentation of technology and engineering and STEM education, but we aren't just pointing that out as a challenge, we also are providing an answer to that in the form of STEL. So in June 2022, the ITEEA board released a new strategic plan with 5 primary goals in the areas shown here: membership, engagement, partnerships and collaboration, curriculum and professional development, and standards. This strategic plan is not something that has sat on the shelf for the last 6 months. It is really informing everything ITEEA does today and will do in the future. And so we are working collaboratively as a staff, a board, and with our active volunteers and partnering organizations to increase membership across all involved in integrative STEM, to enhance engagement, not just among members, but also among the STEM education community at large, to build, expand, and leverage our partnerships with affiliated and related organizations, to develop educators and leaders' capacity to use, advocate for, and integrate ITEA's curriculum into their classrooms and educational systems. And then finally, to establish and support adoption and implementation of state-of-the-art technology and engineering education standards, which we believe to be STEL. So first, I want to dig a little bit into what ITEEA is doing specifically related to membership and our efforts to increase who belongs to ITEEA across everyone involved in integrative STEM. And we aren't just doing that for the pursuit of membership growth, but we're doing that through providing valued member benefits. If you aren't aware, ITEEA offers 2 different membership types. We have individual memberships, which are for professional students and advocates. And we also have group memberships, which are for elementary, middle, or high schools, also higher ed institutions and organizations or companies with missions that complement ITEEAs. Our individual membership gets you access to all ITEA has to offer directly, where through a group membership, school administrators can select multiple teachers to receive those member benefits. And I'll talk about a few of those member benefits next. So as a professional organization, membership is and always will be our top priority. We are constantly, and I mean constantly, exploring how we can add member value. And so this fall, we were so excited to roll out a new resource, which is exclusively available to members. So you cannot access this resource if you are not a member. The ITEEA On-Demand Learning Library has over 150 hours of high-quality professional development on a wide range of engineering and technology education topics, and they can be viewed anytime at our members' convenience. The online library is totally searchable, and it includes clusters of videos and hot topics like content and curriculum, teaching methods, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so again, this is actually free to members. You can access the 150 plus hours of professional development on here. And if you're not a member, there's no way to access it. So we truly are looking for opportunities to add unique value to our membership. In 2023, we're looking forward to further enhancing this benefit by offering certificates for members who view all content and complete an assessment in each of the cluster categories. And we're also always adding new content to the library. I actually think we might be over 160 videos now. So the 150 was when we released it in September, but I think there's been at least 10 new ads since then, and we're going to continue to grow. So anytime you visit, you're likely going to see a new featured video that you haven't seen before, and you'll never run out of content to view. Of course, we're excited about the On-Demand Learning Library because it is our newest member benefit, But ITEEA also continues to offer many of its longstanding professional member benefits. And that includes a complimentary subscription to Technology and Engineering Teacher, which is ITEEA's flagship publication. Currently, that's published 8 times per year. And that subscription is valued at $110 for a non-member. Members also receive discounts on ITEEA Conference, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. We have our next conference coming up in April 2023, but members receive a huge discount of over $100 on our conference registration. And they also receive discounts on publications, products, and our engineering by design courses and trainings. And I'll talk a little bit more about engineering by design when I dig into curriculum and professional development. Another exciting benefit to members is eligibility for our award scholarship and recognition, many of which we issue at our conference and get to celebrate the achievements of so many of our members. We have a partnership with the Trust for Insuring Educators that allows us to offer discounted insurance to our members and also 2 free years of life insurance to every member. And so that's a really valuable benefit that many take advantage of. Year-round, we're offering opportunities to engage. Some, like roundtables, are open to all, but our seminars and our town halls are members only, or they are paid for opportunities for non-members. So our members get to join these events and share information and learn from others in the field for free, whereas non-members would be charged or may not be able to access them at all. And then individual members also get free resume posting on the Career Connections page. Now, I highlighted here most of our professional member benefits. Advocate and student memberships are very similar. There's just a couple slight differences based on benefits that may or may not be valuable to students or retired educators as compared to active teachers. And our schools really are able to access these same member benefits for multiple teachers through the group memberships. But our institution and corporate memberships do have some unique benefits that really are more for the company, things like advertising and exhibiting discounts. So if you are affiliated with an organization or a company that supports technology and engineering education products and services, those benefits differ some, and I'd be happy to share more with you one-on-one about that. If you want to learn more about membership, you can scan the QR code here. You're going to see a lot of QR codes in our presentation. I'll also share these slides with Kelly after the fact so that you can have access to them and revisit any of the slides in case you didn't catch the QR code while it was populated on the screen. So of course, membership really is our reason for existing and our top priority. But what is membership without engagement? And so we want to make sure that our members have opportunities to engage and connect, and that those who choose not to be members but are part of the STEM education community are still able to collaborate with and connect with others within the STEM field, and specifically within technology and engineering education. So we aim to provide diverse opportunities for participation, for professional development, and for recognition for members and non-members alike. So I'm going to talk about a few of those next. I pulled out one very timely opportunity to highlight on this slide because the STEM School of Excellence Recognition Program application closes this weekend on December 18th. And this is a very exciting opportunity that recognizes outstanding schools worldwide for their commitment to providing robust integrative STEM education. And it's available whether your school's a member or not. There's a discount for schools who are members. But the recognized schools undergo a very rigorous application process, and they're required to detail out and provide documentation of their strong integrative STEM program. And then their application is reviewed by a panel who reaches consensus that the documented evidence really does in fact represent excellence in integrative STEM education. So we've offered this recognition to elementary, middle, and high schools for years, but new in 2022, we added an application for universities and colleges that offer technology and engineering teacher prep programs or integrative STEM programs or certificate programs. And so this is an opportunity that, again, you just have a few more days to take advantage of, and I encourage you all to check it out. All of our STEM schools of excellence receive a banner to proudly display in their school, and they are recognized at our conference, which brings me to my next slide. ITEEA's 2023 conference is going to be held in Minneapolis, Minnesota on April 12th through 15th, 2023. And it offers a truly unique opportunity to learn from and to share with other STEM education professionals in a variety of formats, and so that you can gain comprehensive professional development and networking experiences. Listed here are just a few of the top reasons you might want to attend. I'm also excited to announce that this year we have some new networking and social events, including an offsite Welcome to Minneapolis social on Wednesday evening, meet and greets with ITEEA's councils who represent various special interest group within the technology and engineering education community, and also a celebration of award winners reception where we will recognize many of those individuals who are receiving some of our highest honors and awards within the organization. Don't worry if you've been to ITEEA conference before, these new opportunities aren't going to replace some of the old tried and true favorites like the STEM Showcase, which is a science fair-like exhibition of teachers sharing best practices, and our Go Baby Go Build and Dream Ride, where students will adapt Fisher-Price motorized vehicles for young children with mobility challenges. So lots of exciting new things and some of our old standby favorites that'll keep happening at conference. Of course, that doesn't even touch on the professional learning opportunities with endless sessions for all STEM educator audience and topics ranging from computational thinking to making and doing. We're just so excited for the program lineup, which is now posted on the website. You can view the full program and all of the sessions we'll have there now. So I encourage you to check it out and to consider attending. Pre-registration is open through March of 2023 before prices increase for on-site registration. So you have a few months after we all return from the holiday break to check things out and see if you might be interested in joining us in Minneapolis, which we hope you are. I could honestly spend this whole webinar going over our engagement opportunities, but I don't want to skip the important things we have happening related to partnerships and collaboration and curriculum and PD and standards. So I just did a little roundup here of ways that you can stay connected year-round through all of ITEEA's different engagement offerings and programs and platforms. It includes our journals. I mentioned Technology and Engineering Teacher before, which is one of our most valued member benefits, but we also have the Elementary STEM Journal and the Journal for Technology Education. We have other publications that are available open source, like our Safer Engineering and CTE Instruction ebook, shown here on the right-hand side of the slide. If our journal communications aren't enough, we send out weekly notices through the list of things that you don't want to miss happening at ITEEA, and then a monthly roundup of all of our news and activities in our STEM Connections newsletter. I mentioned in the member benefits that we have seminars and town halls available for free to members, and roundtables open to all members and non-members alike. And those are different virtual events for you to engage in and connect with other educators. And then, of course, you can connect with us on social media, join some conversations there, ask for input, ideas. It's a great place for teachers to connect peer-to-peer and have some knowledge exchange happening on your terms and directly with other educators. All right, so now we're going to dig into our third goal, which is all around partnerships and collaboration. And we're really invested in building, expanding, and leveraging partnerships with affiliated and related organizations for mutual benefit. We want these relationships to really advance the vision and mission of ITEEA, but also the organization we're partnering with. And so we take very much care in deciding which organizations to partner with and what the terms of those partnerships are. Of course, we partner with the STEM Leadership Alliance because they are a mission-aligned organization and we have common goals between the two, between ITEEA and STEM Leadership Alliance. But we also partner with our state affiliate associations to share resources, promote opportunities, and connect with each other's audiences. And we work closely with some other organizations like TSA, NASA Eclipse, the International Conference on Technology Education, and the Trust for Insuring Educators, who offers our discounted insurance programs. So ITEEA has state affiliate associations in approximately 20 states throughout the country. We cooperate with them, offering joint unified membership options. We often exhibit and present at their conferences, and we recognize the state award winners that are selected through their affiliate associations at the international level at our conference. And so you can see here on the slide just a few of the organizations that we partner with outside of ITEEA, and then a few of our state affiliates across the country that we also work closely with. We also consider our many institutional and corporate members our partners, and we look for ways to feature their content and services on our website. And we're constantly working to reevaluate these relationships to identify new opportunities to collaborate and exploring new partnerships. Right now, we're working to build a new partnership with the National STEM Honor Society, who I actually connected with at the STEM Leadership Alliance Summit in July. And so we're excited, hopefully next year, to be able to announce a new partnership with them and some exciting offerings between ITEEA and NSTEM. In addition to partnering with mission-aligned organizations to promote relevant resources and connect with each other's communities, ITEEA also partners with a few universities on grant projects. And there's a few grant projects we've been working on over the last few years with Hofstra and Purdue. One of them is the Excite project. But we're excited about our newest partnership just this year with UVA on an NSF Phase 1 grant project, Pathways to Open Source Ecosystems, or POES. And our project with them relates to our goal is to develop an open source ecosystem for students and educators with curated CAD models and supporting peer-reviewed articles describing classroom use. So these models and articles are published in the Contemporary Issues in Technology and Teacher Education site journal under Objects to Think With, Educational Design and Fabrication. So this is an online journal, it's open source. And again, we're looking to publish open source CAD models and then supplemental articles that show how to use those CAD models in the classroom. And it's a pretty exciting project that we just got started on about 4 months ago. And you're able, as an educator, to submit your instructional open source CAD-based models and article to this journal. So if you scan the QR code there, you can learn how to submit, but you can also view and peruse some of the models and articles that have already been submitted. And I know that UVA and ITEEA have lots in store for what comes of these CAD models in terms of developing units and lessons from what's submitted. So we're really excited to partner with UVA on Phase 1 of the POES project and looking forward to hopefully moving into a Phase 2 and maybe Phase 3 in the years to come. Okay, now that we've gone through membership, engagement, and partnership, so that's kind of who we're working with and how we're connecting with them, we're going to get a little bit more into the what we're developing ourselves. And that leads us to curriculum and professional development. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how ITEEA is developing educators and leaders' capacity to use, advocate for, and integrate ITEEA standards-based curriculum, again called Engineering by Design, into their educational systems and classrooms. If you're not familiar with ITEEA's standards-based curriculum, Engineering by Design, I'm going to call it EBD from here on out. It's a comprehensive, flexible, and affordable pre-K through 12 solution for educators working towards technological and engineering literacy, or those interested in teaching integrative STEM. And so EBD is based on ITEEA's standards for technological and engineering literacy, which again, I'm going to touch on a little bit more when we get into the standards part of this presentation. But it's also aligned with National Science, Math, and Common Core standards and with NAE's Grand Challenges for Engineering. So here you can see the courses that are offered through Engineering by Design, and these can be taught standalone or they can be taught in a series. EBD is really intended for educators to use it as an out-of-the-box solution, or for teachers to adapt the units and lessons to best work with their students and with the resources that they have available. So it is intended to, while it's comprehensive and can be used out of the box, it's also intended to be flexible and adaptable. Engineering by Design is actually free to teachers who are in ITEEA consortium states. So those include Delaware, Georgia, Idaho, Kentucky, Maryland, Minnesota, Missouri, North Carolina, North Dakota, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. And then anyone outside those states can purchase individual licenses for EBD courses. You can purchase a license for a single course or a bundle of courses. And we're always happy to provide free trial access to interested educators looking to get more familiar with EBD. So if you want to give EBD a try, or you just want to learn more, feel free to reach out to me and we can set you up with a free trial of the courses and give you access to the learning management system to dig into things a little bit. All that being said, we know at ITEEA that providing the content in and alone of itself is just not enough. Teachers need professional development and training to build confidence. And that's true for Engineering by Design as well. So during the summer, ITEEA is often giving lots of professional development really now around the world. We do physical and virtual trainings. One of the virtual trainings that we delivered earlier this year was to teachers at a school system in South America. So that was exciting for us to roll out our first international training. But we have options for comprehensive, hybrid, virtual, physical, asynchronous, synchronous. If you can dream it, we can build it for our professional learning programs. We really want it to meet the need of educational professionals using any of our EBD courses, but also to build in some more general STEM education content or classroom management practices. So while our trainings often are tailored towards an EBD course or grade band, we also like to bring in some more general classroom management and STEM education concepts into the training. Sorry, my PowerPoint seems to want to skip ahead a few times here. So again, much of this is delivered over multiple days in the summer, but we can accommodate some requests during the school year, particularly virtual requests. And you can learn more about all the different workshops that we offer on the EBD workshops tab. Again, we're willing to custom build and tailor workshops to fit the needs of educators in your area. All of our trainings are delivered by authorized and national teacher effectiveness coaches, NTECs and ATECs, who we develop through a train the trainer model. And they become trainers by completing what we call an Authorized Trainer Institute, shown here as ATI on the screen. So once they've gone through this, the Authorized Trainer Institute, our coaches are able to earn extra income through paid training opportunities with ITEEA. So we do have some folks on staff who deliver our trainings, but we really rely heavily on these trained coaches to be able to reach a larger group of educators across the globe, since we are limited in what our staff's time and resources. And so these coaches really expand our reach in terms of how many trainings we can deliver and being able to deliver trainings concurrently to different states, districts, or school systems. We don't yet have registration open for our next ATI, but it's going to be in May of 2023. And so if you want to check back on the professional learning page under the ATI tab in just a couple months, we will be having more information on that opportunity. And we'll also be sending news out through STEM Connections and the list when the ATI does become open for registration. And then the last professional learning opportunity that I really wanted to highlight is ITEEA Scholastics, which again is shown here on the professional learning tab, but I'm going to explain in a little more detail in the next slide. All right, so ITEEA launched this OnShape training, which is the first in our ITEEA Scholastics series earlier this year. And ITEEA Scholastics courses are really intended to be similar in rigor, content, and time commitment to a semester-long graduate level course. And it includes both synchronous and asynchronous learning. And so this specific course trains educators in OnShape. And we decided to pick this specific course because we rolled out a year or two ago OnShape Certification by Design as one of the courses in the Engineering by Design curriculum, and it's really taken off. What we've seen is an increased push for students to graduate workforce ready with a relevant industry certification, and the OnShape certification, becoming a certified OnShape associate, checks that box and fulfills that need. So what can teachers expect in this course? Well, they basically experience the OnShape by Design course as if they were a student. And so this teaches the teachers how to use OnShape, but it also weaves in suggestions for classroom use and allows them to become more comfortable using OnShape in the classroom. And it could be that they are going to use our EBD OnShape Certification by Design course, or you might be teaching a totally different course and just want to be able to use OnShape as a cloud-based CAD modeling software in your classroom. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to use ITEA's curriculum to benefit from the OnShape Scholastics course as a teacher. And so in addition to just getting more comfortable with OnShape and being able to use it more effectively in your classroom, anyone who completes this OnShape Scholastics course receives 40 hours of professional development. They're eligible to claim 3 graduate credits. You get access to ITEA's OnShape Certification by Design course in case you do want to use that. And then you yourself can become certified as an associate. So you get a voucher to take the certification exam. And we're seeing great pass rates for our teachers who do complete the OnShape Scholastics course. So you yourself can earn an industry certification in addition to preparing your students to earn that industry certification. I highlighted this opportunity, one, just because it's very exciting for us and it seems to be attracting a lot of interest, but also because it's timely. We have one of our seminars, our professional learning seminars, scheduled for tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, and it's all about OnShape, including highlighting this training opportunity and how it can benefit you as an educator. And while most of the time our seminars are only free to members and paid for non-members, this seminar app happens to be open to all. So that top QR code will take you to the registration page. There's no fee to register. Anyone can attend tomorrow's OnShape seminar. And then if you're interested in the OnShape Scholastics course, there's an early bird discount that's available through December 31st. So if you register by the end of the year, you can save a little money on that registration. All right, I'm going to dig into the last goal within our strategic plan standards before I open it up for some questions. And apologies if anyone's entered anything in the chat, since I'm screen sharing, I can't see it. So I'll flip over to that once we get through these last few slides here. So ITEEA is not just establishing state-of-the-art technology and engineering educational standards like STEL, standards for technological and engineering literacy, which were published in 2020. But we also want to support the adoption and implementation of those standards in states and districts. So just a little background on STEL in case you aren't familiar with it. Back in 2000, ITEEA published its Standards for Technological Literacy, STL, and almost a decade after the final revision to that document in 2007, the Executive Board of ITEEA's Council on Technology and Engineering Teacher Education set in motion a plan to update STL. And ultimately in 2020, a new set of National Technology and Engineering Educational Standards, STEL, were developed and published to provide a roadmap to educators to really achieve technological and engineering literacy as defined on this slide. So within STEL, we define technology as the modification of the natural environment through human design products, systems, and processes to satisfy needs and wants. But engineering is really the use of science and math to optimize those technologies and to work within giving constraints and criterion. So technological and engineering literacy is the ability to use and understand and create the human design environment that is the product of technology and engineering activity. And STEL really outlines all that a student needs to know and be able to do in order to be technologically and engineering literate. So STEL presents 8 core disciplinary standards with 142 benchmarks, each linked to grades pre-K through 12. And again, they define what students should know and be able to do by the time they graduate high school to really achieve technological and engineering literacy. The essential core standards that define literacy are linked to 8 technology and engineering practices that are the personal qualities and attributes all students must develop to connect the knowledge and skills that they learn through these core standards and apply them in the appropriate context. And those practices were developed referencing the engineering habits of mind and the 21st century skills. Sorry, I think my PowerPoint might be on a timer and it keeps wanting to jump ahead before I am ready. So teachers can help students develop the practices within their lessons, and it's really developing those lifelong personal skills and the confidence and capabilities to succeed in any situation. So the standards and practices are intended to be applied in the 8 contexts shown in the blue, the last octagon in the shape here, the blue one. And these are the settings where standards and practices will be taught. And they extend beyond traditional course titles. They are settings where we encounter technology and engineering in our everyday life. And they're meant to be flexible so that teachers and curriculum developers in certain regions might be more likely to work within one or a few contexts than in all of them. All right, now we can jump ahead. There are lots of resources available for free on the ITEEA STEL website, which you can access by this QR code. So we have crosswalks to other, in addition to being able to download STEL itself for free in PDF form, we have developed crosswalks that link the STEL benchmarks to NGSS, Common Core State Standards Mathematics, and Common Core English Language Arts. So you can see here on the screen just a screenshot of one of those crosswalks. And we also have some marketing materials, things like an FAQ document, videos, presentations, handouts. If you're looking to advocate for STEL or to educate others in STEL, those are great resources for you to reference. The benchmark verb matrix aligns each of the 142 STEL benchmark verbs. So each starts with an active verb, each benchmark does, and it aligns those verbs to the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains of learning, and then also connects those to the 3 dimensions of technology. And so that's a valuable resource as well. The STEL e-tool allows you to search STEL by benchmark or phrase or keyword within a specific standard or within a specific grade band. And it's really useful in aiding in curriculum development and lesson planning. And then finally, there are a number of lesson plans and design challenge articles that other educators have already developed and used that are ready to go, and you can download and start taking advantage of those immediately. And so you might want to bookmark the STEL website and check back frequently, because we're often posting new resources, including new lesson plans as they are submitted by teachers using STEL and using that e-tool for curriculum development and lesson planning. And so with that, I wanted to thank you. I hope this presentation revealed how ITEEA is really committed to engaging and equipping educators, not just the who we're working with, who we want to reach, who we're partnering with, but the how and the what that we're doing behind the scenes to really advance technological and engineering literacy for all. And I hope through this presentation, I highlighted at least a few opportunities or resources that you personally might be interested in. You can always visit iteea.org to learn more, or you can email me directly at kdooley. My email address is on the screen here, kdooley@iteea.org. And so I want to thank you for your time today, and I am going to end the slideshow. Let's see, and see if I can pull up the chat or the Q&A here.
So Kelly, there was the one question that came up about, can you define STEM educators, and then how can ITEA help these educators grow their leadership skills? And I thought maybe you could talk a little bit more about 21st Century Leadership Academy.
Sure, yeah. So back on the engagement slide, you might have seen the 21st Century Leadership Academy. Let me see if I can see if I can get this pulled up. Okay. You can see up on the right-hand side, 21st Century Leadership Academy. So first I'll answer the who do we view STEM educators to be. So of course, as I mentioned in ITEEA's kind of core beliefs, we feel strongly that science, technology, engineering, math are individual disciplines that have to be respected, and they each have unique content. So of course, anyone teaching one of those disciplines would be considered a STEM educator, since they're teaching one of the STEM disciplines. But also we know there are STEM specialists, we know there are STEM after school programs. And so there's a real breadth of educators who have an opportunity to use STEM and engage in STEM learning. And so really any educator interested in, we say integrative STEM, in bringing engineering technology into the classroom to experience hands-on learning with their students would be our target audience there. And in terms of how we're developing leadership skills, we have the 21st Century Leadership Academy, which is a really valued cohort style program. And I should have probably highlighted this, in fact, because the application right now is open through December 31st for the 21st Century Leadership Academy, the 2023-24 cohort. And so we accept applications for folks to join this group, and they participate in a year-long program that includes leadership workshop. It includes monthly webinars, learning from leaders in technology and engineering education on their journey in the field and their journey to their current roles and positions. And it also includes a visit to Washington, D.C., where you get to meet with leaders in a number of the top organizations at the U.S. Department of Ed and the American Society of Engineering Education, and of course with ITEEA, to learn what some of these prominent organizations are doing to advance the field. So that's one of our specific programs tailored around leadership development. I also think all committees, task forces, councils, getting involved in volunteer leadership through ITEEA itself is developing leadership skills. So any educator that's really looking to grow in those areas outside the classroom, I think your professional organization is a great place to do that. Gives you an opportunity to maybe first get involved in as a member of a committee or task force and contribute, but then you can always move on to a leadership role, maybe as a chair of a committee or task force or on our board of directors. So I would say involvement in your professional organization itself is a great leadership opportunity.
I just want to let individuals know too, if you have any questions, please put it in the Q&A. For some reason, the chat is disabled and I'm not sure why. So if you do have questions, please put it in the Q&A section. Kelly, there was another question. I'm not sure if you can see it in the Q&A.
Yeah,
and it was about
partnering with various professional engineering. Yeah, so that's one area that ITEEA hasn't been, I would say, as focused on, because our members are the technology and engineering teachers. We haven't done significant outreach to the engineering practitioner organizations. That's actually the world I come from. Prior to joining ITEEA, was at the American Society of Civil Engineers, and my background's in structural engineering. So I've had a winding career path to find me here, but that's kind of where my roots are, is in the professional engineering and engineering practice. And so I do think there's a lot of opportunity there. I'd say to date, our partnerships have been focused on organizations that similarly serve STEM and technology and engineering educators, or that really have a mission to advance student learning in things like the Technology Student Association, where their members are the students themselves, but we're really aiming to support their chapter advisors in better serving those students. So while we've focused to date on the education profession more than the professional engineering arena, I do think there's some opportunity there. And I was just at the U.S. Department of Education You Belong in STEM coordinating conference last week, and I was able to chat there with someone from SHIP, the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, and we have worked and partnered some with the American Society of Engineering Educators, ASEE. So they have different special interest groups in a number of the engineering practice areas, and are a little bit more plugged into that. So not an area we've been focused on, but an area that I do see as an opportunity.
And then one question that I just had was, when you were talking about the standards for technological and engineering literacy, that is something that I think in terms of a webinar or some sort of way, because teachers are so focused right now on NGSS, whatever they're calling it within their state, and then maybe having a deeper understanding, because I think if you go to the next slide where you had the pretty graph, that one. I think that's really helpful. And I think part of what I'm seeing is a lot of times educators kind of struggle in terms of incorporating NGSS. You know, they're leveraging the curriculum, they have all of this, they have their pacing guides, but then how do we take these standards and practices to make sure that we're connecting those dots to truly being that integrative? So I didn't know if you have courses or opportunities for participants to maybe go deeper to have a better understanding of how to draw those connections?
Yeah, so actually within the on-demand learning library, which I highlighted, again, it's only available to members, but one of the categories that we have numerous professional learning videos on is STEL. And so you can, sorry, this, like I said, this presentation seems to be on a timer. I must not have removed that. So it keeps wanting to jump ahead. There's at least a dozen various sessions in that, recorded sessions in there on STEL. So anyone who's a member and interested in STEL, that's a good place to start. There's also, like I said, some lesson plans available on the website. I'd be happy to deliver a more thorough presentation on STEL. I obviously only spent, a few minutes on it. I just recorded for our China Center about a 30-minute presentation earlier this week for them on to kind of intro them to STEL. But one of the cool things are those crosswalks, because the intent is not to have to teach more. The intent is to teach it in a more integrated fashion. And so it shows how the STEL standards and practices do connect to the NGSS standards, and how you can, for lack of a better term, kill two birds with one stone, and achieve some of the benchmarks within STEL while also advancing the NGSS standards. And those are available for members and non-members alike on that STEL. So if you go to scan the website up here, you can access those crosswalks, which this is just a little excerpt of one showing how the STEL is connected to those other standards.
Yeah, I think that would be really, really helpful. So, so I love that. Again, if there's any questions, just please put it in the Q&A. I really want to thank ITEEA and Kelly and the entire team, because this is just so informative, and there's so much information out there that we really want to spread those resources. And so if you do have any questions, Kelly, if you just want to put up your contact information, and I encourage everyone to really look at the website. I know sometimes there's so much information there that sometimes you can feel a little lost, and if that's the case, just reach out, and Kelly and our amazing team will certainly help and guide you through that. I want to thank everyone for participating today. We really appreciate it. Again, happy holidays. Our January webinar is going to actually be with NCTM, the National Council for Teachers of Mathematics, and that's on January 26th. So we'll be sending out information on that. If you have not been receiving our newsletter and want to stay in tune with everything that's going on, I encourage you to sign up for that on the STEM Leadership Alliance website. And we encourage everyone to start registering for our summit. That is actually starting on July 9th, 2023. Besides having terrific individuals and organizations like ITEEA, we have the Challenger Center, MIT, and some other really great partners. And we're going to continue this conversation around the standards, but also that pathway of workforce development too. So we, again, want to draw those connections from K-12 all the way to careers and beyond. So again, I want to thank everyone and wish you a very, very happy holidays. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kelly, and thank you everyone for joining.
All right.